8,900, 20-pound Wildcat, interesting front L-Bunk, rear slide-out master suite coming in on trade here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. And this RV is probably a textbook example of why you should put your trust in working with us here at Haylett RV, because if I just went through this and I did just a real surface level tour, well, you'd think this thing was pretty darn sharp and the deal would be too good to be true. But we're not that kind of place. I will tell you the good, the bad, with the ugly, and everything in between, because unfortunately, this RV's had a couple hiccups. I don't know if I want to call it a handyman special or not. It's right on the bubble. So here's what I mean. So if I just walked in the door and I gave you one of these cool Hollywood sweeping shots, you'd be like, whoa, that's sharp, that's cool, it's got a lot of good looks, and it does. But there's two areas specifically of concern. Now, it's a pre-owned RV. There's going to be a couple bumps and bruises around. Like if you saw a used car this age, it'd have a couple glitches with it. Nothing major, though. But I spotted two things maybe go, First was up here. There's an area above the slide where you can see that there has been some water intrusion, which is a nice flowery phrase for saying leak. There's been a void in a seal, however you want to phrase it. But overall, it looks fine. I've had the slide in and out twice. It works fine. It's a bummer that it was there. I don't know what caused it. My suspicion is either debris left on top of the slide out or ice damming causing a backflow of water through the seal that then wicked up into the wall. Because it's actually solid up top. It gets close to the slide. So it actually came from under the wall. So there's a measure of osmosis in play there. And that's one thing. But then I was told by my sales manager, because, you know, they try to shoot me straight so that I can shoot you straight. They said, check out the rear wall. And I came back here, and I'm like, okay, yeah, what do you mean? Everything's fine. So, because water goes down, I started tapping. And everything felt fine. But you get right about down here, and that whole wall's moving. That's not an optical illusion. Let me get where the light's a little bit better. You can see how it's doing that. And if I really push through it, I don't think I can. There it is, right next to my foot. You can actually see a little daylight there if I do that. Now, once again, remember, we're shooting you straight on this, guys, because it would have been very easy for us or any dealership to never mention it, and you'd never even know that was there. But we're not that kind of place. Now, what we're going to do, provided we can find the service time, we're going to pull this in the shop and basically lash the rear wall to the underside of the floor, find some structural things where we can try to keep that pressed together. So, in theory, provided we have the time to complete the job, this won't be happening when you take the RV home. Obviously, if you call us tomorrow, it wouldn't have happened yet, but keep that in mind. Watch the posting date here, or call our team to see what repairs have been completed. So, what's causing this? What's happening here? Because obviously this is a very uncommon occurrence, especially at Wildcats, which have really a good reputation for build. They always have. We carried them for a little bit, never had this kind of problems with them. But you know how we tell you at Haylett RV about if you go adding a hitch to the back of this thing and then you go trying to push a lot of weight onto it, that you might sacrifice your manufacturer's structural warranty? Well, I see they added a hitch. And they added an extender so that whatever they were doing wasn't fighting with the spare tire instead of relocating it. And the extra torque, I think, caused the frame back here to pull down a little bit, which detached it from the rear wall. Now, if you look, you can see where the folks noticed what was going on. They went through, they tried to seal everything best they could. But the problem is it's actually a problem from below, not above. Just like that thing above the slide out. It's very uncommon. And again, we're going to do what we can to lash that together. Now, what I recommend is you use the information I've shared with you, quite willingly, to contact our team, schedule a time where you can come see this and see if, you know, it's up to snuff for you. We are not asking blood money for this thing. And that's kind of my point. If you appreciate that we're shooting you straight here, if you're looking for something on a specific budget, maybe this one would work. If you're looking for problem-free philosophy, maybe it's not the right one for you. But remember that we have all these other things here at Haylett RV that could possibly work for you. And you can buy with confidence from us because we obviously won't hide stuff even when it's not a visible defect. And you can see we have several leaving even as we speak, probably as a big result of our decent practices here. So if you're still with us, you're saying, okay, I appreciate that. For the right money, I might buy it. What else does it got? And the good news is, other than those two things, it's got a lot of good. But it is starting to rain, so we're going to wrap up the outside real quick here. We're just going to start rolling because it's coming. Good patio awning space. Now this up here, you'll see inside when we come later, that baggage door opens. It's actually the TV area in the living room. It can flip around, which is kind of cool. The trailer tires look good. I believe these have been replaced, I would estimate, within the last 4 years. I haven't checked the date code, but they look all right. Another cool Wildcat thing, that is a baggage door that takes us directly to the wastebasket in the kitchen. So it's cool to have access to that outside. It also makes it easier to change. Good pass-through compartment storage on here as well. That's something I always like in a fifth wheel. Now, I like that they put that cargo net right there to kind of separate the front area from the main pass-through, but if you want to pull that down, you could. Nothing says that it has to stay there. Most of the decals look pretty good, but what I can tell you with a high level of confidence is the driver's side of the fifth wheel was left facing the sun most of the time, because those decals have experienced the greatest level of sun exposure. And once again, if I just stood here and said, boy, she's pretty, you should come get her because that price is too good to be true, ladies and gentlemen, well, when you come to see it, you might be not really overwhelmingly disappointed, but a little disappointed when you see that some of the decals have seen a little bit better days. It's okay, it's just not ideal. Now again, I can see where the folks went through and tried to keep everything resealed. I think that it was their specific use for this RV, putting it through stresses it was not designed to endure, that kind of got us where we're at. Enclosed heated underbelly, solid extended season package on a Wildcat. It's been that way for a long, long time. Now, just because of what I saw above the slide out, I did take a peek below, and actually everything below the slide looks okay. It's weird. If an RV usually has a problem, it tends to happen from the top down. And this one had a problem from the bottom up in 2 different areas. It's highly irregular. Let's take a look at that roof, then we'll hop inside since we're doing this backwards today. And I'm actually kind of encouraged from what I see on the roof up here. Like, they had obviously done quite a bit of cleaning. And when it came time for sealing, like, the roof has been coated and they added a bunch more sealant. Like, when it came time for sealing, if they needed 2 bottles, they bought 5 and they used all of it. Like, they just kept adding more. While not the ideal way to do this, not the recommended way, it does appear to have worked for them, because I have not located anywhere in the RV where there was a leak from the top down. So again, like I said, I don't think this RV was poorly cared for. I think it was just used, and used kind of hard. That's sort of my impression of this one. So I don't think it's dead. I think it's kind of the camper equivalent of like a person with a broken arm. It can still pretty much function. It's just going to take a little bit of healing time, and then it'll be pretty much good, you know? I think that's the best way I can describe this. I don't know if I want to call it a handyman special. I know that it's close. But if you appreciate the straightforward info and a fair price tag on something like this, give us a call. We do it all here at Haylett RV, so take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone. Wait a minute. I forgot about the interior. I told you, it's backwards. I'm doing everything backwards today because of weather. Sorry about that. So anyway, back to the inside. What do we got here? Generally, I like the look of it. Nice, light, bright colors, although these skylights are letting in a lot of light. It's making the camera a little bit tough to work with. Here we go. We already talked about the glitchy stuff, so we're going to talk about the good stuff. This is a really cool layout, and it makes a lot of sense. I never understood why concepts like this were not more popular. I don't get it. America, please explain this to me. So the idea here is the tallest people in the RV typically are mom and dad. Why do they get the shortest ceiling height bedroom? Why not the kids? Because the kids don't as often need to duck. So this is a front bunk room, rear master suite back here with a full 6x80 queen bed slide. And it's nice because you get all kinds of headroom back there. It's backwards from traditional RV logic, it seems, but it makes a lot of sense to me. But yet, you know, Cougar, Wildwood, they both tried it for a little bit, and it never really took off. Open Range has done something like it, and again, it's been wishy-washy in success at best. Storage below the dinette. Dinette and sofa can both fold down to little sleepers. Storage below the sofa even. Day-night shades throughout the RV. Now back here, you're obviously seeing a window into the bedroom. And you're going, yeah, my days of putting on a show are long gone, Jack. Well, the good news is, just like that door, that window has a full privacy shade that can put down. But what's nice is during the day, at your discretion, you can pull those shades up, get them out of the way, and obviously there's a big window back there, and it can, especially with that skylight and the extra skylight above the slide out, let a flood of light in here. Now, I can see some signatures where this RV was used for some off-grid purposes. I'll explain on that a little bit more when we turn around because one of them is right behind me. We'll see the kitchen in better detail coming the other direction as well. I just wanted you to kind of get a look around. We talked about the TV that spins around if you are so inclined right here. Originally, it wouldn't have had a flat screen bracket because this was made way before the age of flat screen TVs, but what's funny is this floor plan was a little bit ahead of its time because a direct-facing entertainment center straight across from the sofa is something that has only in the last couple years gained serious pull and popularity. And again, you can just flip that guy around. And if you notice, if you open that baggage door, it's not just exposing the TV to the outdoors. You're not just letting the inside out. There's actually a piece of plexi in there, plexiglass, so that there is still a shield, but it's a clear shield so that you can see through it. Back here in the bedroom, I don't know exactly what they purchased, but they did swap that mattress out. So this has a brand new, the salesy phrase is still in the wrapper bag, but still in the wrapper mattress rather. Brand new mattress, never been used. Again, we've already talked about all the rear wall stuff. Let's focus on the good stuff in here, like the storage in this bedroom. Up there, area for, again, before flat screen TVs were common, you'd throw a boxy type TV up there. Triple dresser drawer, and a nice amount of closet space beside that. Let me get you in here a little bit so you get an idea. Now, there's not storage or space below that because it is a true queen bed, so it actually slides under that. Now, the good news, though, is when you get to your destination, you can use that space. Like, you can throw your shoes and stuff down there. So even though there's not a cabinet there, it doesn't mean that it's not a functional area. Kind of, you know, just the way that you can use an RV. Slide side breeze windows. As far as I can see, every window does open for airflow, which is nice. The ceiling fan up there looks to be a, I can't tell if it's a 110 only or 12 volt ceiling fan from here, or by looking at the switch. I'm not sure which, but nice to get some fresh air floating around. The cabinetry actually looks good. Again, I don't see where they beat up on it. It just looks like it had some hard towing miles logged on her. A classic feature that you're also seeing here is that like peninsula-shaped upper kitchen cabinet. It kind of fell out of favor in the more modern market because it makes the RV look and feel a little boxy, but man, it's extra storage. This is where I was saying I think they did some off-grid stuff because down here, they wired up an inverter. And I don't know what they plugged into it because it's got a pair of open plugs on the face of it there. But whatever it was, I don't know if they had a little mini fridge or CPAP machine or something. They must have used that for, I don't know, maybe box fans to keep some air flowing. Sliding privacy door here closes off the bathroom. And there is a sliding accordion door there as well. It's interesting because it's still an upper deck bathroom even though it's a lower deck bedroom. And like I said, everything about this floor plan is unusual and uncommon, but I don't know. I like it. I think it's different. It's neat. It's kind of cool. But it doesn't matter what I think. It obviously matters what you folks think. Bathroom over here. What's nice is somebody can be using the toilet area here without cutting off the entire camper. Kind of almost motorhome style. And there's a larger MaxxAir vent fan up there that looks like it's had plenty of use. And that's actually one of the reasons that this door is slotted like this. So that you could leave the windows open in the living room. Leave that slider door right there open, keep that fan running, and just suck hot air out of the RV and pull in fresh air from outside. Now, this is a very different kind of thing, like I said. Cougar, Wildcat were the two most prolific with doing an unconventional front bunk like this. Kind of starts over here with a bunch of dresser storage, which is really nice because anyone who's got even one kid knows they just take up so much space. You love them, but my God. You know, when we had a toddler, she occupied 2/3 of our house. It doesn't even make sense, you know. This bunk can flip up out of the way, by the way. That's kind of why we got the little fold-down jackknife sofa down here. So that's a daytime lounge. In a way, it's kind of a second living room for the kids. And then, you know, of course, you got your two fixed bunks on the side here. Another thing that's really nice about this one is if you do have a really long, tall kid, you can sleep lengthwise across here and have like an 8-foot-long bed, top and bottom. Like I said, it's a little different, but it works. If you're going to do it on the bottom bunk, obviously there's a seam right there. You might want to put like a foam topper pad to kind of bridge the gap. But that's what's kind of cool about this one. It's not just a kid sleeper. It can actually be a multi-adult sleeper. Different, but neat. I like it. And, hey, you know what you're getting into before you even make the drive here, because we already talked about all the scary stuff. So once again, take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.